What is up, guys? California Phantom here. We have the EVO 2 versus the Mavic 3. It's been a long wait. Let's talk about it. So the Mavic 3 entered the chat at an astonishing $29.99.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
But with that, you get the micro 4/3 sensor, blah, blah, blah. You already know that. The 3 batteries with this Fly More bundle, which includes the hub, as well as the ND filters, charger, and the very illustrious DJI man purse. You contrast that with the Autel EVO II, which is operating on a 1-inch sensor, came out a couple of years ago and has a price point of $2,100. Now that's only with 2 batteries, but it does include the charging hub as well as the case for now. That is where things get a little interesting. So in order to have the 3rd batteries, just like the Mavic 3, you have to add $220, which brings the real total to this drone at $2,300. So going back to the Mavic 3 at that $29.99 price point versus the EVO 2, we have a variance of about $600. So you have to ask yourself, does getting the most cutting edge micro 4/3 camera worth it for that $600 over the EVO 2? So what I hope to accomplish with this video is to just show you guys the footage so you guys can decide which one's suited for you, which one's best for you. As far as I'm concerned, I want the absolute very cutting edge for my clients. I'm doing commercial work. I'm doing the ROI on both of these drones are done within 1 or 2 projects of mine. So I'm paying off these drones terribly fast. But for you guys, you content creators, you're looking for flight, actual enjoyment of flying. You're not looking for the absolute cutting edge as far as stills and video. The Autel EVO 2 still remains, even after the 2 years, in my opinion, the better option. And why I'm saying the EVO 2 is going to be the top dog is simple. It's the geofencing. It's the lack of geofencing. It's the tunable controls. I absolutely cannot tell you how much of a blast it's been flying this drone, both commercially and recreationally. I think for the dollar, the bang for the buck, the Autel EVO 2 is the way to go. The smart controller is fantastic. I have a previous video, I'm going to put it up right about here, where it talks about the smart controller versus the DJI variant. The only downfall of their smart controllers is probably only going to be good for this EVO 2. Autel has a terrible track record as far as releasing products and making them incompatible with future variations or future iterations. So if you get the smart controller, understand you're only getting it for the EVO 2 platform, and that is it. Going back to what I was saying, the lack of geofencing is huge. On one of my first commercial flights in an unrestricted area, the Mavic 3 required an unlock, and in addition to the unlock, I actually had a failure to unlock where I had to reboot the drone as well as the smart controller, which caused more time, more delay, and just a general frustration as a commercial pilot trying to take commercial cinematic footage and stills for my client who was actually on site and present at the time. It reduces a level of professionalism and it makes my job more difficult. I've had this drone now, the EVO 2, for 2 years. I haven't had a single failure on a commercial site. All the clients end up happy with the footage and the stills, and I've never had any geofencing areas or issues. This is why I would recommend overall, the ROI and the fun factor, I would recommend the EVO 2. Now, it's not going to fly like a DJI drone, and again, in my channel, you can bury it in there. You can look at how you can tune this drone to better suit and to better fly like a DJI drone if you like to. But the beautiful thing about this this aerial platform is you can program and tune this drone to fly however you prefer. So if you get it out of the box and you don't like the way it flies, don't be discouraged, because you can tune it and you can adjust the way it flies. So there's that. So going back to the Mavic 3, I have to say the strongest suit of this drone is its flyability, and I mean that in a very specific way. The controls, the actual physical buttons, the sticks, the way the input responds to the drone is like second to none. You can try and tune your EVO 2 to your liking, but it still isn't quite as buttery smooth as operating a DJI platform. Now, I absolutely love the image quality. When you compare it against the EVO 2, this footage shines obviously above the EVO 2. The stills are better, the video's better. The telephoto lens, I'm thinking, is going to be better in a firmware update because it's virtually unusable right now. But if you guys are 107 pilots out there and you're on the fence and you haven't already purchased the EVO 2, or you don't own an Air 2S, this is a contender. I mean, it's really not as much as people are trying to make it claim. At $29.99 with the 3 batteries, like I said, it's a $600 variance between the Micro Four Thirds and the 1-inch platform from the EVO 2. Now, I don't know exactly the current rate for the Air 2S, but the Air 2S versus the Mavic 3, you know, it really just comes down to ROI. If you guys are making enough money from your commercial shoots and or YouTube or whatever you guys do, and you can justify getting yourself a Mavic 3, then absolutely get yourself a Mavic 3. I just got these Freewell filters. I've been using them and they are absolutely outstanding. Polarized. I have some long exposures that I'm looking to do with some rivers and some movement, some traffic. So I'm going to be taking some stills with that, and I'll post that on my Facebook for all you guys that follow me there. But these Freewell filters are second to none. So if you guys don't get that on the Fly More kit, you're getting the basic kit. Freewell filters are the way to go on this, but you're definitely going to need the ND filters, so add that on to the cost of this drone if you do get the basic kit without the filters. But it just comes down to that. It's just basic math, ROI. Can you justify the expense of this drone through the work that you do and the profits that you make? Again, I've been blessed enough to have such a huge client list and to be always busy. And again, I apologize for not making these videos. I love making content for you guys. I haven't been on for a while because I've been absolutely slammed with personal life, with family issues, but more importantly, the work. I've never been this busy in the dead of winter ever. So, you know, I have YouTube and you guys to thank, getting my name out there, and that's pretty much it. I have an Etsy link I will put in the description for these wonderful vinyl stickers. I don't know if you guys can see this. I kind of made a gag post on Instagram involving this Phantom Edition. I don't know, let's see if we can get there. There we go, the Mavic 3 Phantom Edition. This is sort of just an homage to the California Phantom channel, being the first drone, being the platform, the Phantom 3, and so I was just kind of wanted to pay homage. I wish DJI did something like that. I think that'd be cool. I really like the Phantom 4 Obsidian Edition. I like those other editions. I don't necessarily like what they did with the Cine Edition. It's not really catchy or it's not enjoyable at all. So didn't get the Cine Edition. Don't really use Mac, so went with the Fly More on this and just added the Phantom logo on there. So the joke's on me, I guess. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a comment down below, hit that like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next adventure.